Can you explain the limitations of the quick rise scheme that uses a development center to assess potential for career advancement? And is it just an Indian thing?
No, I believe it's there. Basically, again, the same thing happens, that what has happened, that in order to please your employees, organizations have found one way, that is to keep promoting them frequently. But where are so many positions? So they started adding designations and hierarchies, and you had so many of them. In fact, many years back when I started my career, designation of a manager used to be a very senior post, and there used to be very few managers in a factory, and there used to be just one general manager who was the CEO. But nowadays you have general manager maintenance. Why general manager? You have vice president marketing. Okay, so all these designations have got watered down, they have been derated, and to keep people happy, those designations have been distributed freely. I mean, I have seen some organizations where almost everybody is a vice president. Every MBA who joins, he becomes a vice president. Okay, so that is what has happened to those designations. But as a result, what has happened, that the organizations have become very tall in hierarchy. You have so many designations, and you have invented those designations with prefixes, suffixes, additional general manager, like deputy general manager, assistant general manager, assistant vice chairman, and so on. Okay. As a result, the organization has become very, very tall. So even if one gets promoted every third year, I mean, still there is a big ground to cover. And then people realize that by the time a person goes in decision-making role, he would already be 50 plus. So how many more years he would have to be held accountable for whatever decisions he took. So there was a logical need that some youngsters should be at the top, so that they can be held accountable for a longer term, right? Now, how do you get young people there? So the scheme invented was the so-called quick rise scheme, where you have some kind of a development center where you select few, okay? But more often than not, the selection process is done by some senior executive from the same company. So one thing is that it is fraught with the favoritism, nepotism, like whoever is a known face, whoever is in the role that he is. And people have been vying for cherry picking those kind of roles where they become more visible. And one way to become more visible is to make presentations to seniors. Now automatically those roles become coveted, where one is making a presentation to seniors about performance, about various things and all. It doesn't mean that whatever he is showing is done by himself. That will never be the case, right? So people tend to pick people from those who are more visible in these development centers, and those who are better at communication, better at softer skill, better at generalist kind of this one. They have a very widespread but very less depth. So they know a little bit about many things, they are able to talk about anything, but then tell them to do a particular thing or solve a particular problem, they will fail miserably, because they have no depth in anything. So that is what happens. And so basically these things are designed to pick up some senior in the hierarchy, to make somebody senior artificially. Like you have techniques of testing where you quickly make something very old. I mean, okay, 10 million cycles of operation you repeat very fast so that the test can be finished in time. So this is something like that, okay. So you age a particular individual while he is young, so that you are able to place him in top bracket while he is still in 40s. Mostly technocrats, these schemes are not for technocrats first of all. And technocrats will never be able to compete in the kind of yardsticks which they have. They will never be able to come up. Because technocrat will say, okay, I have designed something where I have solved this big differential equation. I mean, somebody will say, why did you have to solve differential equation? Were we not doing without it? So it will just fizzle out like that. No, there will be nobody who will be able to assess the real potential or the real worth of a technocrat in that kind of thing. And anyway, you can't make technocrat a general manager. Somebody has done PhD in designing something, say let us say turbine design for life, is supposed to design only turbine. He can't handle finances and HR and all those things which go with the higher level in hierarchy. So that's the problem. So mostly organizations never have a scheme to deal with experts. That is the pain point. Okay. While they are well versed with dealing with generalist managers, they are at loss to even assess the worth of an expert, and they don't have any scheme to compensate the expert for whatever his performance is. Not just an Indian thing, but okay, in Western world, inherently they have respected technology and technocrats to start with. So somebody with the super qualification, with the postgraduate, actually starts getting lot of respect from day one. Now here it is not like that. Here, okay, somebody who is MTech or PhD is 1 or 2 notches higher than the regular entrant. That's all. But that too only in the beginning, not after that. After that, they will forfeit you in bell curve, and according to bell curve, you will get weeded out to some fringe area, okay, in the performance domain.